Morning world, it's about 11:15 on the morning of 5th of November 2025 and it's full moon. Yeah, it's full moon in a couple of hours. It'll be actually full moon at 19 minutes past 1 UK time, which is, 2.5 hours from the time I'm recording this. And it's full moon. It's full moon at 13 degrees of Taurus. Now, because the moon is a lot closer to the Earth than it normally is, it's passing through the signs of the zodiac a lot quicker than normal. And this is an unusual time because it's a 6-month period where the full moons and the new moons are at the same degree of consecutive signs. That doesn't normally happen. It's rare, very rare. So there's a cyclical sense of not so much order here, and I hesitate to call it routine, but it's just unusual. So it's full moon. But what else is going on? Every full moon brings endings of some type or another, much as new moons are fresh starts. Using the biodynamic principle with gardening, new moons are always a time for sowing and full moons are a time for reaping. But there's a lot of aspects going on in the chart of today. For a start off, Venus is still weakly opposite Chiron and fairly weakly square Jupiter. So that's not a big deal, but what is interesting is that Venus is now coming into square to Pluto. It's getting stronger and stronger over the next 2 or 3 days. And Venus squaring Pluto, Venus about to move into Scorpio and squaring Pluto. Yeah, there's going to be a few issues around finances, dirty money coming to the surface. And this is expanded by the fact that Mars has now moved into Sagittarius. It moved into Sagittarius yesterday. It is, in the chart of the full moon, it is opposite Uranus by under 3/4 degree. And Mercury in Sagittarius is really slowing down now, getting ready to go retrograde any day now. I think Mercury will go retrograde. When does it go retrograde? It goes retrograde in 4 days' time. So Mercury is basically stationary now at 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and Mars is catching up to it. So basically we have Mercury conjunct Mars opposite Uranus. Sudden surprises and shocks, breaking the routine, breaking convention, bringing something that's more modern, stimulating and new into the equation. Especially with Mercury and Mars in Sagittarius standing up for what it sees as truth, ethics, philosophy. And Uranus is still in Gemini, although it's about to go retrograde into Taurus any day now. So, but Mars, Mercury opposite Uranus, yeah, bound to be some surprises going on. I just remembered, I haven't quite seen all the results from the American polls. I don't know if that guy in New York won the mayorship. I'll find out after this video. He should be in by now. But there seems to be a lot of change, a lot of... I don't want to get political. But this is a call for truth and transparency. This full moon. And with the moon being in Taurus and the sun being in Scorpio, the two signs that are most commonly associated with money, both individuals' money and other people's money, as in stocks and shares, business loan, bank loan, mortgage, inheritance, taxes, as well as the money that's in your pocket and your purse. And mix this with the truth and transparency requirements of Mercury conjunct Mars opposite Uranus. And with Venus coming up to square Pluto, bringing out 1 or 2 financial, probably, secrets but have been around for a long time and are now coming to the surface, then that makes me think that, okay, this is quite a volatile time in terms of disclosure. There's got to be some positives here. And sure enough, there are. Saturn is exactly half a degree away from being exactly trine Jupiter. Jupiter's slowing down, getting ready to go retrograde. Saturn's slowing down, getting ready to move forward. So the underlying theme here is that the economies are not going to be suffering. With Saturn trine Jupiter now and for the next few months, despite all the bluster and the hype and spin, money will keep getting printed, prices will continue to rise, but not by as much as everyone's scared of, and the underlying economies of the world will continue to manage, to cope with Saturn trine Jupiter. Also with Saturn sextile Uranus and Jupiter sextile Uranus, there'll be changes but not radical ones. It's very easy to buy into the hype and spin of panic and just say, oh my God, the world's going to the dogs quickly. Trust in our leaders. And I'm saying, no, don't. I'm not suggesting that the leaders of the world are complicit or crooked or amoral, although some of them are. But then that's just a cross-section of community. I am suggesting they haven't got a clue what's going on. They're seeing things in dollar and pound and yen and euro signs. They're not looking at the holistic picture at all. And the feelings and thoughts and the considerations of the little people, the people who provide the glue that keeps everything else down to earth, isn't being considered. So yeah, this is a volatile full moon. It's a full moon where there are going to be a lot of shouting about the inequality of the world. I don't quite know what the outcome's going to be on this one, but I get the impression that this is the beginning of the end, in a way. It's like a plug being pulled. And now the end of, I hesitate to say the end of greed, because that's a human thing. But it does suggest that we're seeing an end to the extremes of financial disparity. We're beginning to see an end. I think we're beginning to really see the start of the much hyped, much vaunted, holistic wave coming in, as symbolised by the big transits of the next few years. We've still got to get past that snip point in mid-February, right in the middle of eclipse season, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. But once we're through that, I retain optimism. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this with Rick Levine and Alex Trenaueth. And maybe, just maybe, a special guest star as well at the Shifts Conference on the 10th of, next Monday. We have almost sold out of seats. There's about 15 seats left, 20 seats left maximum. But we are streaming it. You can find all the details on the box underneath this video. It should be a good one. At this time of human history and evolution, it's such a privilege to be able to bring astrology out of the confines of the learned into the world, into everyday people's lives. Something I've dreamt of all my life. Finally, I'm doing it. It's a massive thing for me. Okay, hopefully see you there on screen, in person, or on the stream. Take care, world, and go and have a bit of a howl tonight at the moon if you're lucky enough to see it. Catch you later. Bye.